Today is Friday, and oh my goodness, we are ready for Big Fat Lies today. And so, Big Fat Lies topic today is one of my favorites. I always get so many people wanting to give themselves some freedom when it comes to money, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to how do I pay my bills? And then also, actually, it's so funny. The same frequency comes through when you actually do make a decent amount of money. Like you probably even heard this that your life expands when you're making great money. And it's like, okay, the same frequency that's coming through when, you're having difficulty paying your bills is the same frequency that comes through when you're making $500,000 a year, when you're making $1 million a year. Your life expands when you make more money. And so, what you have to do, what is a really great idea, I mean, you don't have to, but you can, is start to ask questions about your energetics. Like, it's like, okay, well, my life can expand, but my bills don't have to expand at the same time. Or do they have to expand at the same time? So, today I really wanted to invite you to a different paradigm with money, with wealth. And I want you to ask yourself, what would my life be like if I could trust myself financially? Like, trust myself to have my own back financially. And so, if you don't feel like you have your own back, I'm going to invite you to join me live today in the live studio audience at 1 o'clock Pacific. Also, I want you to ask yourself some questions about financial freedom. Like, what does that really mean to you? Like, you might be old enough to remember that there used to be these commercials, Freedom 55, instead of being 65 when you retire, like the old paradigm used to be, like, what if you could retire 10 years earlier? Like, what is financial freedom to you? And what if it doesn't have to mean you win the lottery? What if you could just start with financial freedom in the next 5 minutes or in the next 5 hours? You could get the information that you need about what financial freedom means to you. And then also, my invitation today is to start to know how your past failures, your financial failures, are bleeding into your future and how to stop that. Let's do a triage. Let's have a look at your injuries and start to pay attention to where they are bleeding into your future. And what can we do to stop that? What can we do to be aware that there are failures and they don't have to actually affect how you feel about your future, how you feel about yourself right now. It's just data. And you've heard me say this over and over, it's just data. But if you feel emotional about it, it's so interesting. Like, you might have heard me say this before, but everywhere we feel guilt, everywhere we feel shame, is like a fire extinguisher in our life. Like, if we have, life's force energy, if we have a fire in our belly, if we want to change things, and then guilt comes on the scene, well, I'm going to talk about that in my live show today. I recommend that you do join me live if you can, but if you're listening on the replay, then grab the replay. You can see the link in the comments for the replays and the link in the comments for how to join me live today. And that's my invitation. And so the show is called How to Stop Bleeding Money: Time Travel to Your Past to Preserve Your Wealthy Financial Future. And that's the thing. All of us have stuff that's happened to us in the past. And how can we preserve our financial future? And how do we cut that past off at the past so that we can, have this life force energy? And so that's what I'm going to be sharing in the show today. The show is at 1 o'clock Pacific, which is in an hour and a half, which gives you plenty of time to join me live in the studio audience if you would like to do that. And then wherever you're listening, if you tend to listen to me in the car, we do have an app for that on Inspired Choices Network, or if you tend to listen to me just basically anywhere. I would love for you to put hashtag replay or hashtag I'm listening. That would be really valuable to me to know where you're listening. So, my name is Jennifer Kramer Lewis. If this is the first time that you've seen my face, we're actually connected wherever you're watching. And so, my invitation to you is to join me live today in an hour and a half for how to stop bleeding money. I am so excited. Take care, guys.